Hello, I'm Eli. I'm an Eagle Scout with Troop 292, and today I'll be showing you how to effectively pack for a campout. The first thing you'll want to bring on any campout you ever go on is your uniform. Here's mine right here. You'll be wearing it up and down from wherever you're camping. And make sure while you're wearing it, you are part of Troop 292 as you always are, but you're showing it to everyone. So show your behavior in that way as well. Next, even though I'm showing you how to do all this stuff, there is a complete list in your Scout Handbook on page 268 and 269. It shows all the clothes you should bring, all the essentials, and it shows some stuff you should also bring on a backpacking trip as well, not just for your average tomahawk or week-long campout. Next, I'll be going over how you should carry all your items. For places like Tomahawk or other week-long camps or other week-long or weekend campouts, you should bring a tub like this, just a big plastic container to carry all your stuff in. It's waterproof. Small bugs or animals can't get into it, so it's completely safe from that. And it's enough room that you can carry all your stuff with it being outside of your tent as well because of the fact that it's water and critter proof. Next, I'll be going over sleeping gear. A lot of people bring sleeping bags. That's all you really can bring in the later winter, fallish, spring campouts. But for summer campouts, I like to bring just a quilt. If you don't have a sleeping bag, this has worked for me when it's gotten down to like 40 degrees. So it's actually effective for a fair bit of the year, like around half, but once you get into winter, it's not so much. But if you don't have a sleeping bag, this perfectly works as well. Also, you'll be needed to bring a sleeping mat. I like this accordion one because it's light, it's very light and easy to carry. Or you can get stuff like this from Walmart, which is just a big roll-up boy. Cheap, effective, does what it needs to do. And since if you're staying there for the weekend, you just throw it out of the car into your tent and you're done with it. You don't have to worry about how big it is. As the rest of my gear is, this is labeled with my last name on it. This is very important because maybe you have the same gear as your tent mate. It's not so much as for sleeping pads, but stuff like my toiletries box, my silverware, a lot of my clothing has it on the tag or something. That's just so you don't get your gear mixed up with other people's, because that's just a whole big pain in the butt. So if you can just if you write your name or even your initials on something, it just makes it a whole lot easier for everyone. Next, I'm going to be going over clothing. Just as a basis, bring 2 to 3 pairs of everything, especially socks and underwear. I bring 3 pairs of socks on everything I go on. Another baseline, if it's not cotton, it's probably better. You shouldn't go out and buy a bunch of polyester and really nice, expensive backpacking stuff just to go to a weekend campout. You'll be fine. You'll be even more fine if you bring rain gear, because even if you have a cotton t-shirt on, if it doesn't get wet, you're good. And that's what rain gear is meant to do. Make it so even if it is raining, you don't get wet. It's an essential for every campout. Also, bringing, even if it is summer, sometimes it gets really cold, maybe really windy, maybe really rainy. Just bring in a nice, small, heavier coat. Not like a winter coat, but something you'd wear in spring or fall. Really can make the difference. Even and when it's 90 one day, it can be 50 the next day. Also, if you have a hat like this, a baseball hat, or sunglasses, those are all really effective. This keeps you from getting sunburnt everywhere, whereas the other two just keep the sun out of your eyes. But yeah, I really like bringing this. If you went to Grey Wolf, this is a great hat to bring. If you haven't, you can find these Target, REI, whatever. Next, I'll be going over the mess kit you should bring. First off, a bowl. If all you have is a bowl, you'll be completely fine. You never need a plate, because anything that can go on a plate can go in a bowl, but not everything that can go in a bowl can go on a plate. That's why when I go camping, I like to just bring a bowl. Here's my preferred utensil of choice. It's a fork, a knife, and a spoon all in one. If you don't have one of those, or you don't want to go out and buy them, you can just bring a plastic fork, or knife, and spoon. And if you want to bring a plate, obviously you don't have to, but if you just want to, just a nice plastic plate works wonders. Also, this kind of goes along with mess kits. Your water bottle. If you don't want to bring a big Nalgene or just can't, you can just bring one of these and refill it the entire trip. Just whenever it gets empty, just refill it up. That way, you're making sure to reuse stuff. But if you can bring a Nalgene, I really don't like just bringing a big 1 liter Nalgene, carrying with me everywhere, making sure it's always full. You got to stay hydrated or dehydrate. Next, I'll be talking about my toiletries, which I keep in this box. It's waterproof. It's really, everything proof. Unless you drop it off a cliff, you're pretty good. I like keeping my toiletries in here because it keeps it all in one spot and it's not in like a messy bag, and so it gets all lost, jumbled up, and also because of the fact that it's near indestructible. In my toiletries box, as of recent events, I've been keeping a thermometer in here. It's nice to keep no matter what. If you think a kid might be sick, a thermometer is just great to have. It's light, it's easy, and it's not that big either. I'm asthmatic. I bring my inhaler with me. If you are, you should also keep this either on your person at all times or very close to you. Here's my toothbrush and toothpaste. To save room, I sawed a toothbrush I got from the dentist in half. Just makes it easier. You don't really need as much room when you're brushing your teeth, especially when you're camping. And just some travel toothpaste works wonders. In here, I guess these wouldn't be toiletries unless you're having a really rough time in the bathroom, but I have a lighter and my pocket knife. This is just something I like to keep on me and I don't know where else to put it, so I put it in my toiletries box. I'd say with my knife, you can either keep this in your pocket or just in your toiletries box. I just prefer the toiletries box, it doesn't get lost. And I usually am not in that big of a hurry when I need it. I have a Band-Aid also and antibiotic ointment in case, I do get a little wound, a little boo-boo. I can heal it up really quick. And also, for the sake of the other campers, I bring a small travel stick of deodorant. Also, something I'd like to include, they're not exactly toiletries, but they kind of go along. A watch just to tell the time. It's a lot easier, so you don't have to ask everyone, do you know the time every 30 minutes. It gets really annoying. You know the joke. Also, a headlamp, especially when you're staying up later at Tomahawk and stuff, because you're having a fun time watching the stars. When you're heading back from that, you want to be able to see. Maybe in the summer, you don't need this as much, but definitely the further away we get from the summer solstice, these becomes essential every night. Thank you all for watching. That's all I have to show you guys today, but if you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask your patrol leader or senior patrol leader about packing your gear. Thank you.